Are we live? Of course we're live. People, deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning to my people, them over here in the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and even in some cases, good night. You know, good early morning even to some people as well, because I know I always see a lot of comments with people in America, they're watching me at stupid o'clock. Not just America. Again, like I said, if you're in Australia, all sorts of Asian nations, the time zone isn't kind to you, or the time difference where I make my videos isn't different. So once again, I always appreciate the support you guys give me, man. So once again, I'd like to say happy morning, good morning, better yet to you guys. I hope it's a happy morning. I hope it's a week full of good health, first and foremost, for you and your loved ones, where you can hit your targets. It's Monday. It doesn't matter how old or young you are. We've all got goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. If you have not got none of those, then please exit this live chat, because football is the primary topic, but we're trying to all better our lives and things. So we'll get into it and things. Now, I can't lie, as I've started this live stream, apparently announcing the signing of Sambi Lokonga is apparently going to be imminent. So you'll get a video. If it happens while we're doing this, I'll touch on it. You'll get another bonus live stream or a video of some sort. I'm good for it. So yeah, before we crack on to stuff, I'm going to speak about, the centre-half partnerships, a couple of transfer bits and bobs, just my feelings in relation to, as we're going to America now with our bunch of players and things like that. And obviously you lot get your questions, talking points, all the rest of it in, man. You lot make this for what it is, man. I'm unhappy obviously with what's happened in the last year globally, or just over a year now, probably even 2 years, in the sense of corona and things. But one thing that I really love, the byproduct of that, is these live streams and these watch alongs, and I really appreciate it. I could have a subscriber base full of idiots, but you lot are sensible people, and I really appreciate it. And on that topic, where's my manners? Yesterday I think I checked, and this morning I didn't really believe it. I can't lie, yesterday I saw you lot commenting it, and today I confirmed it. I appreciate everyone who's hit the like button. We're at 38,000 subscribers. Just the other day we was at 37, so the road to 50k is still going strong, people. Like I said, I appreciate all the support you guys give me. Please make sure you're following the Twitch. If you're on Twitch, exclusive Q&A for you guys this week as well. Deluded Gooner, I was about to say 187, but it's not that anymore, it's just Deluded Gooner. So make sure you're following on Twitch. And like Kay said, road to 1,000. At 1,000 I'll probably do a little giveaway for one lucky person. But before we crack on, what are you lot saying? I can't lie, it's boiling over here in the UK, people. You lot might have to give me a second to go get a flannel in that car. I can feel the cocoa butter coming off my headpiece. It's hot and humid anyways. Maybe I need a dehumidifier. You got one light there, one light there, one light there, and next light there. There's about 3-4 lights shining on me. So yeah, and it's not like I need a tan, in case you didn't check. So there's 105 of you locked in. The target was 100 likes. Please make sure you're doing such. What are you lot saying before we crack on, man? Live from Planet X. Big up DG. Been eyeing this off to chill after work. I hope everyone's well. Appreciate you. And like I said, when I was speaking about Australia, it's guys like you. I appreciate the support, man. Let me check on my world clock what time it is over them sides there. Sydney, it's 8 o'clock. The day is done. Like if you're in Auckland, it's even later. If you're in Barca, you're an hour ahead. Big up to my Jamaicans, because again, if you're in Jamaica, New York, and them things there, it's stupid o'clock. Hong Kong, it's the day's done. So I appreciate all the support you guys give me, and obviously the Canadians as well. It's stupid o'clock. So I hope you're all doing well and safe. Joe, we're gonna get onto it. Well, Gabriel and White would be first choice. Hopefully White is right-sided and Gab is left. Joe, keep your opinions, park off your opinions, don't forget them. We're gonna crack on to that. But we got a lot, man. We're here for a while. We don't need to start shooting off yet, so please hold that, man. I'm gonna need your input. But I appreciate that. Big up Dane. Josh, I appreciate you. It's G Med, PR, again, usual suspects. CS again. I hope you're enjoying your jog if you're going for one today. Manny's always here. Jaden's always here. Chase Gold's always here. Big up the nation on a lovely day. People deluded. Hashtags. Appreciate that. Arslan's always up here as well. Mad name, but it don't matter. Omar said, just got up and seen man like DG live. I take a shower, brush your teeth, and I'll be back here, my guy. I'll be back here, man. I appreciate you guys each and every time. Morning, broski. Hope you had a blessed weekend. Let go them likes. Nothing less than 200 people. You heard the man. I had a good weekend, man. I had a good weekend still. If you know, you know. But yeah, man, I hope everyone's blessed, man. I hope everyone's blessed, and I'm appreciating the comments going and things like that. So before we carry on, I have to take in what you lot are saying, man. I don't want to leave you lot hanging, man. I really don't. I feel some sort of way. Man said the Stephen A. Smith for football. He's a bit mad still. You know, I don't know Mohammed, you know. He's got charisma, but has he got knowledge? I don't know. But I appreciate that. Raw, one dislike already. People got hate in their blood, brother. It's Monday morning. I've done nothing but give positivity. It's not my fault. You know, it's someone's baby mom. Or in fact, it's not even baby moms. Because baby moms don't have a problem with me. It's the baby daddies. If you lot had the drive that I had, if you lot was as consistent as I had, if you lot was as goal orientated as I am, I'm speaking about the haters, you wouldn't have to dislike the thing. Your girl would feel you. She, you know, my looks are one thing, but she feels the drive. She feels the consistency because she knows her imaginary man in her head, 11:30 a.m. She's gonna see DG, young and old, and them thing there. Obviously, if you're a sugar bubby out there, I know some of you baby mums are old. We take that, you know, we're trying to get out the hood any means necessary. So again, if you're a rich baby mum out there, nice the guy. See, I ain't got no rollie on my wrist. I'll take 2. Make sure you get me the green face as well. I don't know 6 million, man. You know, we just have to outdo them. Shout to the dislikers, shout to the likers. Again, anyone with hate in their heart, if they dislike it legitly, then that's cool. What can I say? But if they're actually feeling some sort of way, then, you know, good news, man, are going to still be here and things like that. DG, you bust me, that German thing getting copped with swiftness. Bro, again, there's a sale on DEST.com. I was going to get the Spain one as well. I thought, allow it. Awful to hear Lewis Hamilton getting abused. It's same old, same old. It's awful to hear him or anyone else is getting abused. It's gone over people's heads, and it's a bit coincidental that Sandro just mentioned Germany, but I wasn't watching the game. But you heard Germany's Olympic team walked off against Honduras due to racial abuse. Again, it's a sad another one along them lines there and things like that. Very happy to see you this morning. Positive vibes to you, sir. Chocolate Chicken, crazy name, but right back to you as well, my guy. Manny, I couldn't have done it without you lot. Wouldn't have grabbed 38,000 without you lot. Again, you know, Lokonga's been seen in London a couple times. Somebody keep checking Arsenal.com for me. Anderlecht apparently announced it and then moved it away. So again, we probably will see an announcement for Lokonga today, or I say hopefully, man, or maybe we're waiting for Thingy, we're waiting for Ben White. Yeah, Chris Wheatley, everybody's confirming Lokonga, but me, it's probably done. But me, I want to see it on the website, man, official thing and whatnot. It is what it is. Big up the members and mods. Big up AM. Big up G. Big up G. Big up Mr. Adlib 23. Hottest room in the house got me on strings last night. DG brother Kalechi, bro, it's boiling over here in the UK. I appreciate the South African tugs. Back at you, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Obviously, speaking of South Africa, we got Zed here as well. I hope we make a midfield signing. We just spoke about Lokonga, so it might happen. It's 6:35 in DC. That's ridiculous, man. Oz said, big up DG. I don't comment, but I'm always tuning in. Oz, I appreciate that. I know there's what I call the silent supporters. You, man, are not really, you know, with the liking and subscribing, all that YouTube BS, but you're there, man. So I appreciate it, man. And I appreciate everyone. 40K in the mail, DG. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, man. Let's keep going. Bro, I'm telling you, the galley feel the consistency, man. It's not my fault. It's not my fault, man. Man said, yes, DG. I'm on the track now, my girl's running faster than me. You better catch up, man. Don't get outdone because she's never going to shut up about that. But yeah, big up everyone locked in, man. Again, you lot make my morning, man. It's so positive to have this community and whatnot, man. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. We got man from the south of France. What's good, DG? Tuning in from the south of France. Sorry. Hope you have a nice starting of the week. Hopefully, Lokonga is announced today. I think it is, man. They did post his goodbye, but allegedly they've removed it. So we'll see what's to be said. So yeah, we'll get on to the transfers and things, but we've been here for 9 minutes. Let's get into the big boy stuff now, people. So let's start off with the partnerships, people. Now, for me, again, spoiler alert, Gabriel, I don't know when Gabriel is or isn't going to be back from his injury. So for me, that's put to the back burner. So I can't lie, without talking about Ben White, without talking about Holding, you know, Holding probably be second in line, but I'm just feeling a bit more Marie at this moment in time. If we was to play Brentford next week or tomorrow, sorry, better yet, I'm starting Marie. I'm a bit undecided who plays on the right, probably by default Holding because Ben White isn't officially an Arsenal player, but I'd say Marie would start the season. Now, for me, obviously, when Gabriel is fit, Gabriel is taking that without a doubt. And, you know, again, it depends where you look at it because we're going to have to, if Saliba was to come this season or next season, Ben White and Gabriel, we're going to have to at some point go through what I call short-term pain for long-term gain. And arguably, while I somehow think as much as I love youth talent and want youth, I don't think there's a time to be experimental. I think we need to find, you know, if they're good enough, you know, if they prove it, let's just find an 11 and run with it. I'm not really with the opportunity thing this year. Europe needs to be getting Europe, and we just need to play the strongest side. But same way, I do think there is a time to give significant more experience to the Balligans, to the Smith Rowes, to the Sackers, to the Lokongas if he comes in, Ben White, all of these sort of guys. Let them get up to speed with what we want to do, you know, lay some real foundations. Let's be real. We've got a young team, and they're going to show naiveties. Ben White is going to make mistakes at Arsenal Football Club. He's only 23, you know. And obviously, we can't look at him as a messiah. We've all watched him at Brighton. We all rate him. But when he's at your club and you're watching on a consistent basis, as you lot know, it's a different thing. Lokonga as well. He's still raw. Now, I want to see Ben White develop into a first name on the team sheet for not just club, but country as well, because you was on the standby list. If you develop, you'll go. Lokonga, you was on the standby for Belgium, you know. I know Ben White eventually went. How can we develop him into a full Belgium international? Smith Rowe, how can we make him get an England call up and go from strength to strength and continue to be the creative hub at the team? How can we, you know, take the burden off Saka and Smith Rowe, but how can we accelerate Saka? Like, for instance, can we make him able to take a corner? And it's same old. So I think there's a season for that. Specific to defenders, if we are going to go with everyone in Arsenal, to be fair. But if we're going to go with a Ben White and a Gabriel, they're going to learn harsh lessons. Ben White, the same. We've seen Gabriel. Sometimes them booky stray passes. Sometimes he comes charging out from the back. He's a bit like a bull in a china shop. But I like Gabriel. I think he's raw. That's where I need Arteta. If we and that's where we need to learn the harsh lessons, not only in defense, but midfield. Midfield is a big, as you lot know, how we go forward, our midfield cripples it. But our midfield also cripples our ability to defend. In fact, how we defend from the front. I keep saying it. Our first defenders are them front three. Our first attacker is our goalie. Why I say this? Why the hell would we be playing out from the back? You know? The whole point of playing out from the back is to go from one end to the other, you know, and I want to see proper pressing from the front as well, because again, when we do press, you know what, against Chelsea and Spurs last season, they were there, but it's not long lasting, you know, any of them sort of things, the pressing, the positioning, it's not long lasting. It doesn't, you know, it's not a habit. It's not a muscle memory sort of thing. We show it in isolated incidences, and that's what I want to see. I can see a lot of you in the comments talking about a back three, White, Gabriel, obviously, and somebody else, and we will see a back three at some point. I want to see a back three. Obviously, I want for my thing is 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 every day of the week. That's how I would be if I'm a gaffer, and that's how I want Arteta to be. I don't think he need a back five, but same way, I want us to be able to play a back five. There's going to be games we're going to need to change up things. And also, I know when you look at Arsenal's back five, we immediately scream defensive, 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 defensive. And a lot of it is true. But same way, you're only attacking or as defensive as your gaffer wants to be. Personally, I do think there's a lot of things Arteta needs to pattern up. But as we're starting to see new signings coming in, hopefully other guys being phased out, I do think you will see, not just whether it's a back three or whatever, I do think Arteta will take the handbrake up. Like, I think he doesn't trust a lot of these players, and that's probably why he micromanages a bit too much. I don't know that, and that's down to him to find the balance, but I do think you'll see a bit more of it unleashed. And obviously, again, Ake, certain games, you know, White, Gabriel, Tierney in the back three, it could work. You know, I'd probably put Tierney on the left, Gabriel in the middle, White on the right-hand side, and then we'd have to do what we can at fullback. But there's a lot of options, you know. This is what we need. For me, what I want to see Arteta have is one central base way of playing, and then you tweak things. Obviously, I'm not saying for the whole 38 games you need to play a certain way, but we played 38 games last year. What are we as a football club? What is our DNA? You know, I have to say counter-attacking. We don't do that particularly well, but counter-attacking, pragmatic and reactive. That's all you kind of see. The only time you kind of see us looking like we've got a DNA, make sure you're hitting the like button, 243 in here, a DNA and them things, is when we're playing these Chelseas at Stamford Bridge or whatever, where we're being proactively reactive, what I call it, in that we're defending, we know the talents they've got, we're on this defending thing, and then, you know, we're proactive in exploiting a mistake. You know, you saw it against Chelsea. There might be a little mistake, or United, they might switch off defensively, and then we run it, we go home with it sort of thing. I want to see us be able to do that, but we need to put our mark on the team, and there's teams that are not expected to reach heights that Arsenal are. There's teams that finish below us. I think they're a bit more hungrier, and I don't think, I personally, obviously you got to defend, but I think long gone are the days where, you know, you're just going to get a 1-0 or play a bigger team and you just sit back. I firmly believe the best form of defense is attack. Obviously you need balance, and it's DG Nation. You lot are sensible in that regards, people. So we'll have to see. Let me scroll down because again, I got my Google Doc sheet. Big up everybody locked in. Again, I tried to humor myself and write down. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I didn't do back three people because I was thinking of partnerships. Partners are two. Now, first choice, obviously for me, every day of the week. Again, like I said, short-term pain for long-term game. There's Gabriel still developing, and I kind of think Arteta hid away from blooding Gabriel when things went tough. He's going to need to still learn lessons. Ben White, bro, he's 23, significantly more experienced than Gabriel, done up Leeds, done up Brighton, but he's only played 1 year in the Prem. Let's be real. There's still things he needs to learn, and they're young defense. Obviously, I want Ben White. I think Ben White's more of the leader in that partnership if they were to play right now. But Gabriel can come in that. And again, I'm not too sure on the language barrier. If Gabriel can speak proper English now, I don't know. I don't know Ben White if he can speak Portuguese. I really don't know. So there's gonna probably be teething problems. Or if you see Ben White, you might not see Gabriel at the start. You might see a Holding or a Marie, one of them sort of man in the initial weeks. I know Gabriel is injured, so obviously he can't really play that. But one of them, or Ben White might even be on the bench or play that right back. I don't know. I don't know. But that would be my first choice partnership because for me, bro, what's that? 50 on Ben White, about 28, let's just call it 30 on Gabriel. That's significant outlay on two centre halves. And Saliba, you know, we're going to get onto him as well. He's gone off to Marseille. Hopefully next season he's able to be first to third choice and battle with it. That's around 100 odd million on centre half. So we need to be working with that. As I said, if Brentford's tomorrow and I think Holding had a decent season. I'm part of the Holding FC camp. For me, if we're playing Brentford, or unless something happens, I know Ben White isn't an Arsenal player. He might not be up to speed as much fitness-wise and that, although he's at the Euros. For me personally, I think Marie and Ben White, I like Marie for obvious reasons. Good reader of the game. The only fear with Marie is when he's pulled out into wide areas, he's not fast, so he struggles. And I do think fans look at Marie with a bit of rose tints and put him on a level that he's not. But I like Marie, and I think we're going to need him early start of the season. And you're going to need him in the squad anyways. But I think it would be Ben White and Marie for me. You know, first choice, as I said, you know, if there was none of these other factors, Gabriel being injured and these things, Ben White and Gabriel, because that's the longest, that's the one we can do in terms of longevity. Then I'm probably going with White and Marie to start the season. That you might even see a Ben White and Holding on the left. That could be something, you know. I wouldn't, you know, Ben White and Chambers, you know, a back three of Ben White, Holding and Chambers. I'm not really with it, you know, but you could see something like that, you know. I don't know why I put the slash, but yeah, you know, Ben White, you know, so my first choice would be that. If we're starting the season, it's probably that. Ben White and Holding, / you could go Ben White and Marie, / obviously we've spoken about Gabriel. Ben White and Holding, I think obviously, you know, it's the two the two English lads. I'm not really with that because I know Ben White is better than Chambers with respect to Chambers, but I'm not really with that. I think we've, you know, it's just a bit mad. But again, Holding's a decent reader of the game, apart from when he's letting Sterling and Jota out jump him or not looking over his shoulder. But that could be something because that's easy to do, you know. Again, Arteta's got admiration for Holding. Holding can play on the left. Ben White can slot in. Ben White has to play. He spent 50 odd bands on him. You've got Holding and Marie, which could be used. I'm not really with it. You've got Holding and Gabriel, which the best way to describe that is probably hit and miss. Some days it looks decent. Some days it looks booky. Obviously, I did it as it stands. And again, as it stands, there's question marks over the goalie. So I don't know if Leno's actually going to be here. But if we was to start going into Brentford, and assuming everybody's still here, and I can't talk on right backs because one isn't in here. Personally, Leno will go and goal for me again. Arthur Okonkwo isn't ready and isn't levels right now. We haven't got another right back, and I think currently Chambers is the best option based off of last season, although Maitland-Niles could be there. But as I said, if we're playing Brentford tomorrow, I'm going Chambers, White, Marie, Tierney personally. The only really partnership I believe in is probably Ben White and Gabriel, because that's the one that fills me with as much joy. I think Ben White and Holding could be decent, but I'm not trying to see that. First game of the season, I'm probably expecting to see Ben White and Marie, but I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, everyone can earn their places, but Marie, for me, shouldn't be anything more than a squad player. Same with Holding, especially as we aspire to go to where we want to go. If spots are earned, spots are earned, but that's how I feel in relation to that. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, you're supporting the thing on Twitch, and also getting your opinions in, people, because that's that. Let me take in a bit of what you guys have had to say about this, because undoubtedly you lot have offered your own opinions on such. DG, I agree on your stance on players' position, sticking to one and perfecting it, but does that exclude Tierney? No, because Tierney can be, bro, Tierney's a left back, but he can do a job at centre half. And realistically, how many times is Tierney going to play centre half a season? It's when we do these things like Cedric Suarez, 1 minute left back, right back, left back, right back, and then everyone's or Xhaka playing all about the place, you know. And again, we haven't got a good system really. You know, our players aren't the most street smart, you know. So if you can't understand one job, you can't go off and do other things. If you can't make a sandwich, you can't make curry goat. What's going on? You need to do the basics first. You know, it's as simple as that. I think Marie, Gabriel, and White is going to be the new back three. But we've got a good amount of options, really and truly, in terms of a back three that we could flirt with. But again, the midfield, man, because if you go to a back three, as you know, the centre halves have to want the ball. And I think Holding can play. Marie, I like how he doesn't do things above his pay grade. White can play. You know, other centre halves, Gabriel, that I've said can play. But the midfield, man, because you've seen it, our back three get onto the ball. No one in midfield can really do a thing or manipulate it. You know, our strikers are out the game. So it's everyone's got to, I think next season with Arsenal, everyone's got to be a lot braver in possession for me anyways, regardless, because I haven't always seen bravery, you know. As much as I will talk about mistakes and things like that, mistakes happen. As much as football is the deepest game in the world, to me, folks, it's only a game of football. Mistakes happen. You know, I always look at mentality because at Arsenal or anywhere, everyone can do things when everything's going right. How many times have you seen us in the first half? We look shaky. The sun starts shining, in the second half. Players you didn't even know could pass the ball are pinging it, doing lovely stuff. That's a mentality thing. Very few players at this team, you know, can try a mad pass. It gets intercepted. It leads to a goal. I'm not saying that wasn't stupid or asks questions, but that might have been the right pass to play. It's just it didn't happen. Are you going to try that again, knowing what happened? And that's bravery for me. I want to see people trying things. I want to see people not just doing the minimums. Like for me, when we're chasing a game and it's with the defense, too often they're not, you know, you might have some midfield. I can't really paint a picture, but you might have the midfielders next to the centre halves. It doesn't always need to touch both centre half. Sometimes bang straight into the right back. Right back can keep it moving. I haven't always seen that. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, typically when things aren't going well, it's the Smith Rowes and the Sakas and that. I don't want any of that. Everyone needs to be brave. Everyone needs to have the confidence to, if you make a mistake, live with it, man. As much as you're going to be put all over social media, mistakes happen. I'd rather see people take risks than cower. Because again, it doesn't really matter what midfielder we've got. If people are not scared to make runs, scared to shoot, scared to demand the ball, playing safe, we're only going to get so far. You know, obviously you need balance. There's a time and a place and all of these sort of things, but you get the point in it. You're right on that, man. Our creative play is our downfall. Back three would make us even more negative. Again, currently under Arteta, yeah. But midfield, man, midfield can get you out. If you get a couple 8.5s, you improve the movement, you know, you improve in the final third because we were ninth for such. We can, even with existing options, we can improve. You can get away with a lot. I always say attack is a form of defense as well. And we need to definitely improve defensively. But how you hold on to the ball, you know, if you've got a midfielder who can drive and win little fouls, that gets you higher up the field, like Smith Rowe does. That gets you higher up the field. If you've got people who want the ball, bro, if you've got the ball, the other team can't hurt you, can they? Because, you know, there's only one football sort of thing. And attack is the best form of defense. As much as I want to improve defensively, and I kind of like the journey Arteta's gone down in that regard, I think you need balance. And I don't think there's any balance, really and truly. Like, there's a bag of problems defensively. And I always say you build a house from its foundations upwards. But I'd also say Arteta gives me confidence defensively. I've said it before. I think you give him a Ben White, you give him a better right back, you give him decent left back, you know, he can do his thing defensively. And like I said, the handbrake might go up. In an attacking sense now, regardless of what you feel about these players, we are underperforming, you know. A couple teams in the Premier League could do a lot better with these options. We're ninth. We should not have the ninth at best attack. So that tells me Arteta, whether it's down to the coaching drills, whether it's giving the players freedom and to do their work, there's something that needs to be done or something that isn't being done in the final third. Goals win games, you know. Defense wins championships, goals win games. We need to keep a lot more clean sheets, which there's a building block. We need to score goals, you know. Because even when we've played these top games, it's been these fine margins, you know. People have made mistakes, we've capitalized on it, and then we've gone, you know. When we're playing the Palaces like away from home, like at home last season, and we're looking at Kieran Tierney to break down a low block, as good as Tierney is, that's not his job. You're a left back. I know the modern fullback has to go forward, but I'm not looking at you to do that. I need to see that with the players that are paid to score, create, and things like that. And as much as I look at them, a team is always the reflection of the manager. And it's, like I said, it's something Arteta is or isn't doing, man. And again, obviously, with my point about defending from the front and pressing, we're not exactly fit yet in pre-season, so it's not. So I don't expect to be there. But I think we've really got to improve the pressing from the front, and that's got to be there on a consistent basis, man. Because again, when you start games like that, you can make it difficult for teams. That's just me, anyways, man. I don't think we'll get a right back in this window still. Oh man, don't say that, my guy. Brother, you are part of my daily routine. I usually listen in, but I need to tell you, you're smashing it. As you come in, people hit the like. I appreciate that, old man. Messages like that mean it's worth it, man. Always said that DG attack is the best form of defense. You need to have a certified defense, but attack is in my opinion, anyways. You know, there's only so much defending, you know. Mayweather had one of the best defensive records as a boxer, and I agree with him. You can't, if you don't get hit, you can't get bodied. But at some point, Mayweather could, you know, Mayweather didn't win boxing matches because he's just dodging and things. Obviously, there was some, but at some point he's hitting back. You know, in none of these fights was he just dodging all the time. He was throwing little bangs back, and that attack is a form of defense. At some point, you have to do that. Long gone are the days in the Premier League where you can just sit back, because teams that are not top six, which we aren't, they're not doing that. Leeds, whether you call it stupidity, admiration, whatever, Leeds are trying to pattern you home or away. Look at the games against City; they're trying to attack from the front. I don't know if Norwich are going to do that this season, but when they came up a couple of years ago, they were on that. You know, teams are on it, and even last season there was a couple of teams that might have actually lost to the Cities and Liverpools and things, but they made them work for it. And that's what I want to see, because for me, anyways, it feels like we're just giving 3 points to teams. Very rarely, listen, no one likes to lose, but you have to be gracious in defeat. If we play a team, we lose, and I think, you know what, we've just lost to the better team in it, then we lick our wounds, we go again, we think about what we could have done better. Too many times there is an element of that, but there's also, this guy switched off, that guy switched off, poor sequence in play. Why is this guy playing? Why is that happening? You know, he's not following runners, he's not doing this, whatever. We're not taking our chances, whatever in it. And there might be a penalty shout or VAR, which becomes the main talking point. But it just feels like Mikel Arteta, to a degree, and the club and the players, they don't understand football's a 90-minute game. It don't matter if you was in control in the first or the last 10 minutes. What happened in between in the 70? You know, that's where it's won and lost. All that matters is getting the 3 points. You don't get brownie points for we played well up until this moment and this, because it does feel like we focus on them. That doesn't pay your bills as a professional footballer. That doesn't get you Champions League. So there's a lot of growing up we need to do. And one thing I want to see with Arteta, I know there's existing players that were here before him, but I want to see new mentality, because obviously he kind of not hid, but you know, didn't exclude the Bellerins, the Xhakas, the Lenos, and they all want to bust out. When you bring in Ben White, when you bring in Lokonga, the Halem boys, this is what I want to see with Tierney, who's only been here 2 minutes, Martinelli, Partey, the same. You know, build a mentality with these new players, because some of these players are not existing ones, are not levels, and they're not cut up to task, and they're not with it really and truly. It's as simple as that. I'm appreciating the comments, man. The engagement levels are crazy, but in terms of likes, where are we at, people? We're at 199 likes. So first and foremost, thank you very much for doing such, people. Can we get that over the 200 mark? If you have not hit that like button, you know exactly what you need to do. What else are we seeing in the comments? Keep the comments coming, people. Let me check out the Twitch gang. Shout out to you guys. What are you lot saying? You lot are just saying big up DG. Come on, my guys. You know, you lot are kushti, man. You know, Twitch gang is easy people to please, man. DG, what do you think we need? The same thing everyone can see that we need, man. You need a midfielder, a couple of midfielders. I personally, if you don't sign a right back, I don't think it's serious business personally this season. The typical stuff, really, you know. Unpopular opinion, but if we brought in every area we needed to address, like, you know, there's even question marks about goalies, I would be looking to bring in. Can you look to bring in a striker or a winger and things like that? But again, I think you build a house backwards. I mean, you build a house from the bottom to the top, you know, before you talk about flat screen TVs and panoramic this and all of that and the driveway dish, you need to make sure there's no asbestos, there's proper plumbing works, you know, the foundations are strong, so when you're sleeping, the house don't collapse. That's what I think we need to do with the addition of Ben White, with bringing in a right back, with sorting out the midfield. Then your strikers, they're the guys that look good, they're the guys, you know, Aubameyang's a hero. No one's going to talk about, you know, I'm pretty sure if we watch the FA Cup run again, there's probably bare unsung heroes. In that game against City, a defender might have made one important block and then we went off the score. But no one's going to remember that, me included. We're just remembering Aubameyang scoring, maybe Tierney passing him the ball and that, you know. But before you do that, you need to improve the core of the side. And until we do that, we're just building our house on the sand, and we will get these moments where we're winning and it's papering over the cracks. We'll win, and the credit where due, we'll win against a big team where we deserve to win over the 90 minutes. But throughout the 38 game period, it won't be enough. And all that matters is where you start and where you finish. It don't matter this and that and the third people. It just matters where you start and you finish. And I just want to see Arsenal evidently better. I don't want to have to do all these fancy scribbles and say, Arteta inverted fullback, this and that. We need to look evidently better. If someone that never watched Arsenal before watched us pre-Arteta or last season and this season coming, you could see a difference. That's all we need to say. And again, there's no hiding place for no one connected to this club. It's going to be you know, it's a season where we can't carry any passengers. We cannot carry any passengers. Speaking of carrying passengers, people, for me personally, I do think you need to take one away players to America and things. We need the playing squad to be able to play these games, and everyone pushes each other in training. But am I wrong in suggesting that, you know, with the exception of the young players, you could leave a couple like Eddie's future with a year left, you know, Nelson's future with a year left. You could leave them at home. But where Kolasinac, Willian, these sort of players are concerned, surely it makes sense to leave them at home than to bring them to America, because at least probably it forces their agent to make something happen. It's made abundantly clear that they're not in the plans and things like that. Even players that are going to leave on loan, you know, if an offer comes in, how is it going to be done if they're on the other side of the world? It's like, I don't think Xhaka is going to go off to America. Obviously, he's on holiday, but it'd be interesting to see if he came back from holiday and did such. Surely you've got to leave one away players at home. Now, to be fair, Willian had a better game in his second appearance in pre-season. I've got nothing against Willian and Kolasinac personally. It's just you lot are on big wages. We're mismanaging it, and you know, Kolasinac, you should be the second choice, but you've got someone who's 21 years of age who couldn't get into the Benfica team allegedly. He's taking your place. What's wrong with you, Willian? We heard you're Premier League proven. Pepe, you know, Saka looks better than you, and he's how many years younger than you? You know, I'd rather give Pepe minutes, rather give Martinelli. I know Balogun's a striker, but I'd rather give him a couple minutes out wide than play Willian. You know, obviously, if Willian does a madness and proves a miracle, then why not? But it doesn't make sense, you know, and hopefully leaving them would kind of reinforce that they're allowed to leave. But then I look at it, it's kind of what I feel, that no one's ever leaving this football club. It's like you're half leaving, you're half staying. It doesn't feel like we've made it abundantly clear to anyone that you have to leave, excluding the Guendouzi's and people of that nature. So surely it's worth just keeping these guys at yard, man, because what's the point? You know, you're not part of the plans. Yeah, you can train and you can stay in physical top shape and that, but I just think it forces them to get something done, because again, I'm sure they don't want to train with the under 23s and things, which they would have to do if they stay at London Coley. So again, they've got to get on the blower and get something patterned with their agent people. 372 people locked in. I'm appreciative of that. Lokonga is going to be a beast of a signing, man. He's a good player, man. Arte is going to be allowed to dribble more because Lokonga sits. I mean, they can both play together, but I just really want to see one of the other. I want a more expansive man. And I mean, with Partey, yeah, you can pass the ball, but let's just see. I want to see more consistency with Partey for what he's actually brought in to do. You know, he can pass the ball, but you're meant to be that central figure. You know, I'm not looking at you to create. You need to offer something with the ball, but yeah, I get where you're coming with, man. The chemistry is through the roof. We need more signings to look good offensively in the back three. I would like Niles to consider playing right back again. He's class there with Pepe. Ryan, I hear you, but if the man don't want to play right back, he just got to keep it moving, man. You know, I think he just got to keep it moving. Hello, mate. What are you discussing then? Are we just accepting that mistakes will happen again? Probably as much as we have seen recently from our young defenders. Obviously, I wouldn't say accept mistakes, my guy, but let's be real. You know, if you're a plumber and you're learning your craft, you're probably going to cut your hand a couple of times. The same goes for centre halves. You know, I'm not saying if they play rubbish consistently, we need to accept it, but we need to be realistic with ourselves that there's going to be a couple of teething problems. Same way you might see 5 games where they're going to show their quality, they'll look shaky, like with Gabriel. You know, blistering start to his season, you know, and there was a couple of times it looked a bit shaky. We just have to be sensible with what we're saying. You know, Gabriel hasn't got too many senior appearances under his belt. You know, Ben White, he must have 100 appearances under his belt in the senior game now, just about. But you know, you've got someone who's only played in the Prem for 1 year, and again, I know he's got a good defensive sort of system, and he's on holiday right now in Greece for what it's worth. I know he's in a great defensive system at Brighton, but he's not going to have that, because you look around, we haven't got We can say we've got better defenders if you want, but we haven't got as street smart defenders as Brighton. And our players don't really understand the Arsenal system as much as Brighton understand theirs, etc. So there is going to be teething problems. That's without a doubt. It's like Balogun, you know, he ain't played 10 senior games. There's going to be times you're going to see a young, inexperienced striker. Saka shows his age at times. Smith Rowe shows his age at times. You know, it's going to happen. It's just because that's where they are as footballers. As long as Mikel Arteta knows how he's taking these lot to the next level, that's all that matters, in my opinion. You know, as long as he recognizes this. And like I said, in the case of signing Ben White, Lokonga, you sign them for now. You sign them for what they can bring to the table now, of course. But it's what do you see him at 26? What do you see Lokonga at 23, 24? Where do you see where do you see Balogun at, well, he's turning 20 soon. Where do you see him at 22? You get it? And et cetera, et cetera. It's about leaving the building block sort of thing. So, and again, I don't know about you, but I'd rather the young players make mistakes than the experienced ones. At least they'll learn from them, you know, versus players that have been here for years and you've seen the same old nonsense, really. It's crazy. Exactly. Dodge and counter. We pressed well against Rangers, particularly in the first half. I hear that, Owen. I don't think so, but I hear that. This is why I can't 100% blame Arteta. Players just as culpable, in my opinion. The players are. But the same way, as I said, where I think the lines get blurred is because there was a lot of variables connected to this club that's got nothing to do with Arteta, inheriting the poor squad he did, you know, the mentality being on the floor, you know, the things that were here before him, you know, the owner, all of these things. But the same logic, he knew the role he was stepping into, you know. No one put a gun to his head and said, take the Arsenal job. He did take it a year after not getting it first. So what was said then? I've said it before. I think the language with Arteta has changed a bit. You know, he was a bit more quote unquote honest when he signed for the club. Now it's a bit more rehearsed media lines. And like I said, the variables that the lines get blurred, so it's difficult, but the variables that you can lay blame with Arteta, he's not getting the messed out of, because regardless of the owner and the other things, let's be real, he finished 8th. Let's be real. You haven't seen significant improvement to the standard we should. You know, the long lasting, the things he came in with that season he took over, or half a season, a lot of them have gone. So I agree with you, but there's plenty of reasons for it to sack Arteta. When that's where he's probably lucky that because the lines are blurred, man, are not really looking for him. But there's no hiding place for no one next season, in my humble opinion. I've definitely got more time for Arteta than a lot of these players, but I've got more time for my football club. I've got no allegiances to Arteta. I want him to do well. I don't want to be a sacking club. You know, I only gave up on Emre when it became abundantly clear you're not the guy. I want Arteta to get it right, but there's no time for that next season. Anyone that's not with this thing and not trying to help us get back into Europe and not looking like they're able to, you've got to clip it. Where we go from there, if we was to sack Arteta, if we got down to that road, I don't know. But, you know, you've had more freedom post-Arsenal. Not that there's a lot of people who've taken the job, but you and Emre, you know, you could argue because of what Emre's done to the game and stuff like that, he could have done with a lot of the freedoms Arteta's got, where Arteta's been given a lot of these things for nothing, really. You know, propaganda pieces. Yeah, he's won the FA Cup. Don't belittle that, because that's amazing. But what else has he done to be manager, to be as hands-on with transfers? And for me, Peter, you're right, but this makes me lay blame to your feet more, because it's not like Emre, where your head coach, whatever players you get, you kind of have to work with it, which I still wouldn't have sympathy for Emre, because you knew the role you was coming into and coaching is a part of it. But same way Arteta, you know, you asked for Willian, he's not been justified, and that's harmed the development of some other people. So I 100% agree with you, but I think that's where the lines continuously get blurred at our football club. But you're right, you can't 100% blame Mikel Arteta for everything, in my opinion. You got DG. I think you're right. We have to be braver this season, and that may work for us against us, but it'll be telling us to how capable we are when all guns are blazing. It's about balance. Just because you're attacking don't mean don't be not sensible. We're flying forward. People need to think and be like, okay, cool, let me get back. My man's making a run. Man have to start being street smart. You know, and as much as I look at Arteta, I think the best footballers are the best thinkers. You know, Messi's got all this technical ability in the world. Messi's a joke. We could sit here and talk about Messi, but the brain, because he sees these things before it's happened. The best midfielders, it looks like Modric, pensioner by his own standards now, balling in the Euros, showing man levels because of that brain. When you got a brain, The physical attributes may go, but you can still be a baller. And I think as much as Arteta needs to coach and things like this, these players need to start changing the way they think and be a bit more street smart. You know, fullbacks are flying forward. You know, there's a winger that's faster than you, and you're flying forward, and you're not telling anyone to mark him. Can we be, you know? And then they're bombing down your flank and scoring. You can see these things. How many times do we concede a goal and it might be somebody's fault? But you see a series of errors. You see midfielders not reading it and busting a gut to tuck in. Fullbacks not clocking the situation. Strikers not clocking the situation. There's many things I think these footballers can solve themselves as much as I look at Arteta. And I don't think footballers, I wouldn't say footballers aren't as intelligent these days, but I don't know what it is, man. I just think players don't have to think as much. That's why a lot of managers get praised for all these handshakes and shouting and carrying on. I'm not saying people never used to do that back in the days, but I just feel these footballers they're just not able to retain information, and I just don't think they're street smart enough, if I'm completely honest, man. Why are they backing a novice anyway, DG? This is not acceptable, bro. We're at where we're at in it, so I have to work with it. Good morning, DG. 7 a.m. in New York. Always listen to you on my way to work. Big up. Hope you're well. I hope you're well, my guy, as well. Hopefully you have a great day at work and everyone else. Bring Graham Potter to the Emirates. The defense has improved under Arteta, yeah. But will it be long-lasting changes, man? Why did it take us half an hour to get going every game? Players or Arteta? Both. You know, Arteta's got to bang it onto them, but the players as well, you know. The players, you know, they've got to take heed. Too many times we've gone into games like what? We know there was a stage, everyone forgets, but there was a stage we could have got top four. Do you remember there was a stage we were messing up, but other teams were messing up, and we somehow messed up more than them. We were going into the weekend, kicking off first. You could see the players look nervous. We was ending the Sunday of the game week playing last, knowing exactly where we will be. You know, it just feels like Arteta has to keep telling these lot why they should get top four. Why? I'm not saying the players don't, but I don't get the impression that these players are dying to do that. When I look at some other clubs, it don't look like Klopp and Pep have to tell their players the ramifications for winning, losing, and drawing. You know, it just feels like we have to do that. I don't think too many players at Arsenal, they're not dying to leave their own legacy at this football club or in football now in general. You know, it's like a lot of them don't play, like, you know, a footballer career is lucrative, but it's short. If you're lucky, 15 years. If you're Phil Foden, where you know, as a young G, you're playing for City and that doing these things, you're going to be all right. But some of these guys ain't had that. Some of these guys might turn 30 and get rubbed off. You know, a lot of these guys, they don't play, for me, they don't play football for our team. Like somebody said, this is your last ever 90. You know, it sounds a bit extreme, but they don't, if somebody said you're never going to walk again after this 90 minutes, they don't play football like they're going to give it their all. It's always like we're doing them a favor. And until these things change, there's only so far Arsenal Football Club can go. Hopefully we weed out them individuals. It is what it is. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. To the local people hearing your accent, looking to see where it's coming from. The hell? Do you think Emil Smith Rowe deserves the 10? I'd ideally like to bring in a 10, a high-profile guy, and give him that. But I will, you know, I've seen Gallas have the 10 shirt at my football club, so it is what it is, man. Afternoon, DG. Live in a reasonably quiet urban village in Essex, and I'm out in my front garden doing a bit of gardening with your stream coming through my Bluetooth speaker. It's quite funny. Oh, that's where we're going through. to the local people hearing your accent, looking to see where it's coming from. Hey, shout out to the urban area of Essex. I wonder how long it would take me to be able to walk around before somebody asks me what am I doing there. I would love Madders, but we've got to be on madness to get Madders, and I don't know if we're going to do it, man. Is where it is, man. We need to extend William's contract. Yo, on Bants. Big up the Twitch gang. Big up DG. So disappointed seeing William and his pot belly still in the team. To be fair, it's now come out he was wearing a vest when he was looking a bit mad and that, man. There's a bit mad. It's important that we see a consistent starting lineup this season. Exactly. You know, unless you play Partey consistently with his partner, the centre halves consistently, the fullbacks consistently. How do we expect relationships to build all over the field? How the centre mids tie in with the strikers? How the wingers tie in with the fullbacks with their centre halves, the goalie with his back five unit, the four in front of him. You know, people forget about partnerships, about play. You know, a lot of new signings are part of the job, but there's also something to be said in chemistry. And we've got a young side, the quicker we blood them together and build up these relationships. It is what it is. I know Saka and Smith Rowe are Haaland boys, but again, that's a positive example of a relationship. Lacazette, when he gets involved with them as well, we need to start building relationships all over the field, not just for the starting players, but the players that are on the bench, which can be said at a lot of teams. You know, our team, whether we play our first, second, or third choice team, there should still be a baseline level of performance or what we come to expect. Now, you see that at other teams, you don't necessarily see that at Arsenal Football Club. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see some great points, man. We do need to look for a striker. But yeah, man. Smoking red hot DG, feeling you from Lagos, Nigeria. Appreciate that. Big up the Nigerians, the Flygerians, and the rest of the Africans locked in. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Some interesting comments, man. You lot are feeling it today, man. We need to see DG's tactics board this season soon land, man. Soon land. DG, I just don't think Arteta has the right mentality to manage any team. I think that's harsh. I think if one thing Arteta's got is mentality, to be fair with you, but we're allowed our opinions. You're not wrong. He hasn't given you something, you know, he hasn't given you something to make that abundantly clear. DG, I'm in work painting and your show is making the day lighter and the paint dry faster. Big up your damn self. Sammy, I appreciate that. Shout to the 9-to-5ers and the grinders. Shout to everyone just trying to pay their damn bills. And, you know, if it's making your day easier, I appreciate that, man. Let's get to 300 likes. Hey, we need to focus on 200. All right, we're at 267. Very appreciative of that, man. It's way too early for shots, but if this water was Ray and Neff, big up you lot, innit? I'm happy it's not Ray and Neff. It's way too early for that, man. Tactics, but there's no need for the tactics. Well, where is the tactics board? It's here still. Why can't I pull it out? Oh, I'm not gonna touch it. There's a box on top of it. I don't want stuff to fall down, but the tactics is there, man. It's there. That's something I'm trying to upgrade this season, but I need help, man. I need someone who knows how to deal with the motion graphics and things. I want to have one of them flyboy things. Do you like the new home kit? It's all right. I've bought it, so when it lands in my house, I'll pull it under proper thingy. I still think under Emre, we played better football and were less conservative. If we can maintain that level of attack with our improved defense, we'd easily finish above the last 2 seasons. I'm not sure, man, because for me, I don't know what Arteta's done, but I think he played fairly attacking football in the season he actually took over. And from that period of winning the FA Cup to the full season, I don't know what's happened. But, you know, same way, I could say that Emre must have scored more goals in the equivalent games under Arteta. Plus, you know, I never quite, you know, Arteta, for whatever reason, you're the only manager that's been at this club with Aubameyang and he's not had a 20-goal season. So, man, I have to look at you a bit funny and a bit under the lights and all of those sort of things, man. Crazy in that regards, man. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. Yeah, man, before we get in, Tanza said never too early for Ray and Neffy. Aye, man, right now it is still. Oh, I got a lot of things to be cracking on with, but the day is nice, so why not, man? Shout out to the Twitch gang as well. You know, all your support is appreciative. I'm so proud of you, DG. I remember when we were only 25 viewers. See how you grow now, bro. Come on, you know, we've come a long way. I remember when I used to always post my links on them Red Edit streams, and I that's why YouTube trolls, they need to learn from them. Them man, they were hurtful, you know. It's crazy. It's 5 p.m. somewhere. You're right, man. But I've literally just had breakfast and I've had I've had smoothie, Weetabix. I've even had mac and cheese, so I need to allow it, man. Like, I need to slow down a bit, man. But who knows? You know, it's 12:20, you know. It's noon, you know, it ain't too early. Why not, man? Why not, man? With 38,000 subs and that. Hey, T, don't worry about my thing. You don't want to lose your girl. You know me, I like the exotic ones as well. Calm it down. Let's stay with football. But anyways, folks, let's crack on with some of this transfer stuff. Keep everything coming. Arsenal need a player like Jimenez. I'm not sure on that. PG, my young blood, bless up. You have some interesting takes on Arsenal. I'm not seeing the players leaving the club given lack of interest and poor quality of players. Do you know what it is? It's a mixture of that, loss of form, the market. You know, it's a depressive market. It is a buyer's market, but everyone has to be a bit more sensible with their pounds, with what's happened globally. And half our players are on big boy wages. Like, I don't think much of Willian, But there's probably people that would have him. But then big boy wages. Inter Miami try clapping, big boy wages. Kolasinac, me personally, there was talk of cancelling his loan, another free transfer. We might just have to bite the bullet, say, you know what, you go on loan, the team pays up some of your wages, and we get a loan fee, because I don't know how you're going to get money as well for him. We're in a difficult position like that. So I do think we've got that. But saying that, I'm not going to lie, you should be able to get a fee for Nelson, for Nketiah, if they are to leave, for Maitland-Niles. Bellerin should be, I can't lie, man. It's probably, I don't, if I'm realistically, the way Bellerin's been moving, I'm only trying to pay 15 million euros if I was trying to buy him. And I'd be doing a stingy thing with Bellerin. That 15 million euros, I'm trying to pay that for 30 years, man. We lack leaders, man. But there's a different, I think in England, there's too much of this. You're only a leader if you're smacking off your chest and carrying on. There's leading by example. There is that sort of leader. There is just leading by doing your own job. There's different sorts of leaders, and you need all of them in your squad. I do think, ironically, with the documentary, we might see a different light of many people that, because even when you go to the Emirates, you see certain men are way more talkative and do things that you don't see on the TV. I know not everyone has that luxury and things like that. Sometimes you do see a bit more vocally. Like, I know Koscielny was a good player, but he done way more organization than I ever thought when I used to watch him at the Emirates. Even Xhaka, like, there is a lot of quality Xhaka used to do off the ball, man. Is what it is. Please stop spamming, though. Don't ruin it. Blessing from your N4 subscriber now in Sweden. Big up yourself. Quite an adventurous life all the way from Islington to Sweden. Shout out to you. In my opinion, if Arsenal don't buy White, Maddison or equivalent, Basuma or equivalent, Aarons or equivalent, and Locatelli or equivalent, plus, I don't, big up yourself, Roger, but I'm don't see the punchline. Maddison or equivalent's a big shout. We need to get someone in who's creative. I would love Basuma, but with Lokonga in addition to Partey, we'll probably leave that one. We do need a right back, so someone needs to come in. For Locatelli, I don't know what's happening. Can we see the goal? Where are we at in terms of likes? We get 300 likes, I'll spin that, man. We're at 286. I've already spoken about that. Scroll through, my guy. What else have we got? Pigeons in the lunchtime. We've come a long way, man. I mean, everyone's got to take responsibility. Arteta and all the players. If you was here when we finished 8th and you're still here the next season we finished 8th, you have some of the blame. You can't. When we win, you can't just praise the manager, and when we lose, you can't blame everyone but the manager. The truth is in the middle, and that's one thing that is annoying with this. It's like people are Arteta sexuals, or people are just Arteta haters, where people don't look in the middle. People are the only thing we should be looking at and have allegiances is to Arsenal. Is Arsenal Football Club, really and truly. I do think people just want Arteta to fail. Certain people just, because they've said he's gonna succeed, they don't want to change opinions, where we should be allowed to, man. If you rate him and then he's giving you reasons to show that you shouldn't rate him, if you didn't rate him and he's giving you reasons to show you rate him, fair play, man. I just think too many people, football's tribal already, innit? Arteta don't inspire, which is cool if you get results. I think he inspires the players. I just think the players there's stuff he needs to answer himself, but the players have got to want it themselves. Even 1-0 smash and grabs are cool if that's the philosophy, but he don't have one because his game management is meaty. Big up DG though. Black Sheep, super, I appreciate that. I am a bit concerned with Arteta's game management, of course, 100%. Are we at 300 likes? We are at 300 likes, people. So before we get into the transfer business, a deal's a deal. I'm a man of my word. I said we grab 300 likes, we'll spin the goal. Why not, man?
Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
Love for everybody tuned in. 400 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button. Let's crack on. Deal's a deal. You lot don't gas me. Goal of the season for sure. Don't go. Hey, wrong'uns. I heard there was a goal of the season votes and there's a trophy. Man, I have to win that. Toby, Reese, Steph, Marius. You get me? Harry, Sean. You get me? Man should win that still on a Lamena thing. But scrolling away from that though, me and Nuno Tavares were different, bro. Nuno Tavares scoring the meaty goals. Me, I'm slapping it. First time, we're different with it. But shout out to the fullbacks and that. But moving away from that, let's go into this transfer business, people. Now, I'm gonna start with the one I don't care about, one that I don't have much time for, but I have a duty to mention it. Arsenal suffer Manuel Locatelli setback despite willingness to pay 35 million asking price. I love Locatelli, would love him at Arsenal. If the man's heart is set on Juventus, forget about it. I'm not going to keep going over the same things I go over, but Juventus are set to beat Arsenal to the transfer of Sassuolo midfielder and Italy international Manuel Locatelli. The 23-year-old is said to hold a preference for playing Champions League football next season and would hold a preference for a move to the Italian Giants. Now, allegedly, Fabrizio Romano allegedly said that Locatelli isn't against a move to Arsenal. He just wants Juventus, you know, which is as good to me as well, people. So it is what it is in relation to Locatelli. You know, let's have other targets, you know, and anything can happen if Sassuolo and Juventus don't come to a resolution. Of course, there is something that you can take advantage of. But for me, if I'm Locatelli, surely you'd be better off in a World Cup year, you know, just staying at Sassuolo where you already know it. Juventus will sort that out a year from now. So I don't know what's going on there. But moving away from that, Arsenal prepared to pay 34 million for Manuel Locatelli, but Italy Euro 2020 star wants Juventus move. Scrolling down, Romano said Juventus are always leading the race for Locatelli. New meeting soon with Sassuolo. Manuel is still pushing to join Juventus. Arsenal stance, they're prepared to pay Sassuolo's price tag, but Arsenal only want players to sign players happy and 100% convinced to join the club, which is what anybody wants. So let's just leave that one there, people. Short, sweet, to the point. Make sure you're hitting the like button as well and all of these sort of things, man. That's that in relation to him. Should we get into Granit Xhaka, Max? We've been linked with 2 right backs today, so there's no smoke without fire, as they say, people. So there must be something in relation to a fullback arriving. If we look at Max Aarons, have I got the timestamp? No, I haven't. So let's not do that sort of stuff. 55-30. Let's start with Max Aarons. Now, we're always linked with Max Aarons. I don't know if there's any substance. One thing that makes me not believe it, or not even not believe it, a bit of pessimism, is we know what Norwich are on. You know, if you wanted Buendia, you had to give them favorable terms. Maybe, I don't think overpaying for Buendia, because it's pennies on the pound, but kind of overpaying. You know, Villa were able to do that. We won't. You know, they're only, you know, with Godfrey, with Buendia, you're only leaving Norwich if they pay them price tags and you structure the payments how they want. Norwich are quite good at that. So if you don't pay that, this is a non-starter, really and truly. I think Max Aarons has a lot to work on, but I would love him. You know, he's better than Bellerin. He's English. There's scope to develop there. You know, he probably won't break the bank. You know, he's surely cheaper than Lamptey of Brighton. I know Lamptey's injured, but I just think Lamptey costs a bit more. You know, Max Aarons might probably dig his heels in a bit and get that move over the line as well for us. Arsenal have joined the race for Norwich defender Max Aarons. According to reports, the versatile fullback has caught the eye of a number of clubs with a string of impressive performances over the last 2 seasons. Spanish and German champions Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich are said to be interested in acquiring the 21-year-old services, but the duo will reportedly face competition for his services from the Gunners, who are looking to bring in more defensive reinforcements. Apparently, Mikel Arteta wants to sign Aarons as a replacement for Bellerin, who is expected to leave the club in the coming weeks. We all know when he broke into the team. Shout out to him for having 87 appearances. So again, he is a bit of a leader. He's young. He's playing for a youngish sort of Norwich team. He would tie into what we want. I do think there's a lot, you know, off the ball he needs to improve. When crosses come in, he needs to improve. I actually feel in the final third he could do a lot better, but he's 21 years of age. If Bayern Munich and Atletico are in for you, it's a bit of a myth. You know, again, Atletico, there's rumours of Trippier leaving. Trippier goes to United or wherever, then you could go there and it could be a good adventure for him. If you want to stay in England, it is what it is. Daniel Farke has said, we are happy with Max, but in this business, you can never say never. I am quite confident we can keep him. We have a great group, a great spirit. I am quite pleased with our business so far. All the lads we have signed will improve our squad. So compliments to Stuart Webber. Exactly. You want their man, you need to pay. And the longer you leave it, the more they're probably going to want more money because you're messing up their season. They need to go find the next right back. You know, if depending on what you're doing. So I would love Max Aarons. Like I said, his age, the right profile. He's got a solid foundation, playing 80 odd times for his team in Norwich, coming through the academy via Luton Town. I like what he has to offer. Aarons or Dest, I think Dest is probably the better player, but I'd rather Aarons at this moment in time. Personally, I've got a lot of bias towards Aarons, so I'm not the right person to ask. On that though, in fact, not on that, before we get into Dest, we really should. In fact, you know what, from one fullback to another, we might as well just wrap this all into one, really and truly, you know, because what's the point? Sorry, folks. You know, you mentioned Dest. Big up all the Chinese tugs out there as well. Arsenal make approach to sign Barcelona right back Sergio Dest. Now, we've heard this before. Is there truth in this? I don't know. Arsenal have made an approach to sign Barcelona right back Sergio Dest. Again, I like him. I think in his second season, or it might be his third season, or whenever. This season, he's looked a bit better at Barcelona. His first year looked a bit overawed. Or has this been his first year? Either the second half of his first season, he just looked a bit more at home at Barca, if that makes sense. You know, again, I don't think I buy these rumors because, you know, again, for me, I like Dest. He probably excel more in our 3 at the back formation than a 4. He's got a lot of improvements to make defensively. I'm not going to sit here and lie, but he is good going forward. And he has been a bit more of a creative source going forward, in my opinion. But between Barcelona being broke, rumors they need to sell, and rumors we need to sign a right back for obvious reasons and one going, I don't think there's any legs to this, if I'm completely honest with you. Like it says there, we're in the market for one, you know. We'll have to see. Arsenal are now assessing their options, and according to Sport, the Gunners were among the clubs who made an inquiry for Dest at the end of last season. Bayern Munich and Juventus also made approaches, but the report claims Dest is adamant that he wants to remain at the Camp Nou. Barcelona are desperate to offload players in order to balance their finances, and the sale of Dest could bring in £27.5 million. We'll have to see in that relation. But again, they have to sell a couple of, and you're seeing Umtiti, Clement, all of these guys linked with moves away, people. So, and again, they signed him for 23. If you give that back to them, it might be cool. He's got scope to grow, and ironically, you know, we're going to America on tour, innit? That's an American, so you can imagine, you know, we've got a big fan base in America already, but come on, we've got to think about sponsorship and all of those sort of things. So for what it's worth, I don't think there's legs to it, but it is what it is. Let me zoom in all the way on this one. Courtesy of Google Translate, people. Again, if it doesn't make sense, it's done me dirty. But in relation to Xhaka, we need to get this Roma thing sorted, because if Xhaka is a key player for Arteta. If he's still at the club but not in pre-season and not starting this season, and we haven't bought a replacement in, we're in issues. And I very much doubt Granit Xhaka has told these lot on the last day of the season, I want to leave. I'm pretty sure we've known Granit Xhaka's feelings. Hopefully Roma and Arsenal come to an agreement for our sake so we can see more progress. I don't want a player that doesn't want to be here. I would like to sign a replacement. I would like to go our separate ways. Between today and tomorrow, Pinto intends to formulate the final raise for the Swiss card that Arsenal continues to value no less than 20 million. So it looks like Arsenal and Roma will come to an agreement today or tomorrow. We're going to have a talk for this. Again, courtesy of Google Translate, if it don't make sense, people, the suitcases are closed. The contract has been agreed for a while. Mourinho awaits him. Roma will be happy to welcome him. Xhaka is ready to land in Trigoria, a desire that the Swiss has never made any secret of wanting to satisfy. The next few days will be decisive for the white smoke with Arsenal. Pinto wants to give the player to the special one before the departure for the second part of the retreat to be held in the south of Portugal. So what you take from that, they want to complete Xhaka before they go off to conduct their own pre-season sort of tour thing. But before being able to make the last raise, the manager needs a couple of transfers to take place, preparatory for the transfer to be turned over to the English club. The legitimate owner of the Swiss card for another 23 months. The two sales, both already well underway, are those of Kluivert at Nice, where the Dutchman will go on loan with the right of a redemption of 8 million, and the Swiss goalkeeper Olsen, who'll be bought by Lille. So again, it's a merry-go-round, you know. They sell their players, they can buy Xhaka. They can buy Xhaka. That frees up us to do what we're doing away from Lokonga and the more heavy target. So it's just one big circle, really, as you'd expect, people, which then will be the ones that Pinto will try to put on the plate of negotiations with Arsenal. As far as we know, Pinto has offered 13 million plus free in bonuses to date. Always going to clash with the rigidity of the Gunners, who do not intend to go below 20 million. As we have now understood in these parts, when dealing with a club of wicked Albion, hoping for a discount is an exercise in brilliant optimism. Again, this is just sounding like jargon. Arsenal, however, in this negotiation are taking all the time they need to perfect the purchase of a young talent, the 21-year-old Albert Lokonga. Again, so long story short, I'm not going to keep reading this, people, you know. There's negotiation. Look at this. Come on now. This is a madness. But there's negotiations over Xhaka. Hopefully we can come to a resolution and that man can be moved on, because, you know, it's time to move on from Arsenal Football Club, really and truly. So that's that in relation to Xhaka, Sergio, Dest, and whatever. Please make sure you're hitting the like button and you're supporting the thing across Twitch, people. Exclusive to Twitch viewers, Q&A business this week at some point. Please make sure you're following on Twitch. Drop the link there for you guys. So yeah, that's that in relation to that. William Saliba's had something to say. So if we speak about William Saliba, what are we? Let's go here. Free. Let's go Saliba. Sorry, folks. Oh, Joe Willock to Newcastle. Leave that there, man. Let's put them 2 in 1. Now, as we know, Saliba is joining, you know, he's going to play under Sao Paulo. He's playing for a big club in Marseille. He's potentially playing in Europe as well. They've made some couple of other signings. He's spoken and he said, I am very proud to join one of the best French clubs. I cannot wait to be on the Orange Valadon pitch where I am from in Paris. Lots of those close to me are for Marseille. I am proud to wear this shirt. I know Guendouzi and Kamara and Babaka Kamara. I know them all, but those are who I am the closest with. I cannot wait to be back with my new teammates so that we can work together. When there's competition, that just pushes us to give the best examples. On the manager, Sao Paulo, we spoke. He wanted me in his team. He explained to me that even though I'm a good player now, I had a lot of things to improve. With him, I will have ways of progressing. His playing philosophy speaks to me. I can play in a back three. I can play in a 4 on the right or on the left. As long as the team is good, I can play everywhere. And that's the mentality. So he's gone on to a manager he can improve. He wants to play for a team where it's a big club and you feel a sense of pride and whatnot. These are things that should help you on and off the field if you come back to Arsenal next season, which you want to see, people. In relation to Joe Willock, Steve Bruce insists Newcastle keep badgering away at Arsenal in hope of signing Joe Willock after his electrifying loan spell last season. But the Toon Boss admits the youngster's fate is in the hand of the Gunners, people. So yeah, as you know, he made 14 appearances. He scored 8 goals, you know, and he scored in each of his last 7 appearances. And as they finished 12th and maintained survival in the Premier League, shout out to him. You know, only time will tell if he can keep doing that. So yeah, and again, this is probably one that's going to nag on all summer. 1 minute he's close, then he's not. Willock, Bruce said on Willock, as I've said, it is really Arsenal's decision, and until Arsenal make a decision, a bit like all big clubs, they have a look over pre-season. We'll keep monitoring and badgering away. We'd love to do something, but it's still Arsenal's call. So again, you know, decision needs to be made, and it does feel like everyone is open to everything. Joe, Arsenal, and Newcastle, they're all open to the eventuality he might stay. I think Joe is open to leaving, Arsenal are open to letting him go, and Newcastle want to keep him. So something needs to be said in that regards. And this is probably one that's not going to be done anytime soon. He'll probably do pre-season with us. He might be on the cusp of things before leaving, just before the window closes. And for me, if Joe Willock wants to gamble and play elsewhere, then he needs to do it now and have pre-season. For us, until we at least confirm Lokonga, which is probably going to be announced today, and bring in a couple of midfielders, you probably won't see anything in relation to Joe. And for me, you probably should let Joe go on loan, because beyond being a squad player next season, chances are limited. Because for me, you bring in a midfielder or two, that 10, that number 8, that Lokonga, Smith Rowe, you know, Partey, these are guys that are going to be playing ahead of me. Joe, you can be part of the squad, I'd use you, but are you going to play significant? I don't know. Could it be worth going on loan again, proving to the world you can do this again? For Arsenal, we probably missed the boat out with Nelson, but we do probably need to think of finding a new contract for Saliba and Joe Willock, which we should have done last year with Nelson, so that if we're moving Nelson on, we're in a position of strength. Nelson could walk away for free. Joe might be able to in the next season or so. Saliba's going to have a 2 years or so on his deal. So we're going to need to make decisions really and truly in relation to them guys, people. So it is what it is in relation to that. In relation to transfer news, that's it really. So unless there's been official confirmation of Lokonga, I don't know what's going on in that regards. What's the Twitch gang saying? Well, that's slicks already, man. Twitch gang is mad. They're just trying to get me to drink, man. One True Villain said Kolasinac is on the same money Ben White will be on, and that's the problem, innit? That's the problem. with mismanagement of wages. And that shows you what a good agent can do. Shout out to Kolasinac, agent, because he's done a madness. What is this club so tied with Odegaard? He's not that guy. I like Odegaard, but we're still linked with him. Some reports say him coming to Arsenal's a myth. Certain people say we're trying to get him on loan again. Rather have Aaron's defensively better and homegrown. Don't want DEST, not good defensively. I just got a funny feeling this LOCATELLI business is going to leave us taking Ramsey off them so they can get him. I don't know if I want Aaron Ramsey back, man. White won't come in as a centre-back. That's too easy for Arteta. Big up DG. LOCATELLI would just end up being another Lucas Torreira with the homesick business. Don't think it's fair to say that, but potentially if the man's so got his heart set on joining that club, don't just leave him. For me, DG is his questionable game management and adaptability in games to counter what others are doing. This is where our question remains over Arteta. If we get the players and he improves this, then great. And there's nothing wrong with having that, with having concerns. You know, it's too often you're seen as negative if you have concerns. You know, you're allowed that. Arsenal need to lie to LOCATELLI and tell him to come here, do bits in 2-3 years. When Juventus have the money, we'll sell him to them. Only it's that easy, man. Appreciative. Man like DG, big up yourself. What I want this season is 100% unity from fans. Let's move as one unit, bun the pagans. Come on. TB, I don't know, man. If we didn't see it on camera. No, man. Why are Arsenal stalling on Lokonga's announcement? I don't know, but it'll probably be done. DG, you should make a combo hype video of the goal/trophy lift and see if you can go viral on Instagram or TikTok. Could bring some attention to the channel. It could, but that's somebody in a business. I'm not really with that, man. How do Arsenal build consistency? Is the squad not good enough? Well, we've shown consistency in little bits, but I'd say it's clarity. But the players are the ones playing. As much as I can criticize Arteta, once you step onto the line over the white chalk, you've got to do your business, man. Big up the Twitch gang. If we sign Lokonga, Nuno, Awa, and Madders, it will be one of the best windows. If I'd agree, but if, you know. Big up, Deluded, always amazing content. I appreciate the praise, my guy. What's going on with Lacazette? Is he done out? He's probably going to stay for a season because it don't look like anybody's offering him anything, man. I just done a football session and I'm fasting because it's the day of, I can't pronounce that, my guy. 4 hours till I can eat or drink. Big up, DG. I appreciate that. It takes strong mind to fast. You know, I'm not Muslim, but what was it? Not this Ramadan. The last one, I did it with some of my Muslim friends, and it's a madness. It's mental more than anything. You know, it's mental. Especially I was playing football, and it's almost like you have an appreciation because I remember a couple of times. Obviously, I remember once, like for my old team, Norseman, there was. I'm not going to say names, but there was a couple of my brethren were Muslim in it, and it's pre-season. And then it's only now I look back, I wasn't doing it to do anything, but like I'm drinking water and he's there on the side, and it's almost like it's kind of deep, man. Like obviously we've been given a water break. It is what it is. I mean no harm, but it's like it's difficult in it because I remember when I was doing it and people are drinking water, I'm like, how are you drinking this in front of me, man? It's very strong mentally. It does bring, I don't know what benefits. I think it made me stronger mentally and spiritually better. But yeah, man. Why are you saying deluded for? What you lot saying? Look, I appreciate you guys, but what you lot saying, man? Did you take Tammy Abraham? Yeah. I think he'll score goals. It won't be pretty, but yeah, I would, I would still. Arsenal fans need to stop hating on our players. Management is our downfall, hence players' value drop. It's a bit of everything, man. If you're valued, because we could say that, why hasn't Saka's dropped? Smith-Rowe has improved since he's got a look in. Couple Martinez hasn't dropped. It's maintained. So on some degree, man have to take responsibility for their own stuff and why or why not they're having a good season or whatever with their value and all of those sort of things, man. That's just how I feel, man. DG, how many of the current squad would you be disappointed if they were sold? Does that include loans? All right, just people that haven't gone on loan yet. So, well, I'd be disappointed. Well, I am disappointed in what's happened with Guendouzi. I'll be disappointed if Saliba leaves. Players I expect to be part of the team. I wouldn't. Smith-Rowe, Partey, Tierney, Saka, Martinelli, Pepe. Gabriel. Probably missing out a couple, but they're the only. Aubameyang as well. Regardless, I back it. Pardon me, even Laka, because you think he's been a good serviceman. Apart from that, and I'd be open to selling Laka. I want to keep Aubameyang, but he have to be open to doing something if he's not going to score goals. Apart from that, you know, I've got admiration. I like Holding. I like Chambers. I like El Nene. You know, I'd add Partey to that list, but there isn't too many players I'd be upset if they bust out, man. You can't take his goals away, really. You know, I hear what you're saying, but you know, that's like saying take Courtois' goalkeeping ability away. Strikers are paid to score goals, and you know it's a catch-22 because if Lacazette could have 20 league goals, we probably would have never signed the Aubameyang. I 100% agree, but you know, goals win games. You can't say take away his goals because Lacazette ain't bringing them. It's not a either or thing. You know, on one hand, we've got a goal scorer that don't offer as much. I hear that, but you've got someone who can do everything but score. In the modern day, you need to be able to offer more than just scoring, which Aubameyang has. I mean, Lacazette has. But at the end of the day, you're only going to be as good as a striker if, regardless of that, score goals. You know, and as much as I love Lacazette, I can't lie, a 52 million French international that we're signing at the time that plays up front and is captain a club like Lyon, I should expect general play. I should expect pressing. All the things that I think we lack and Lacazette gives it. Work rate, link-up play, all of that should be there. I shouldn't praise you for that. It's like when I even guilty of it. We're praising centre mids for running about and working out. You should be able to do that. You're a professional footballer. You're a midfielder. You should have legs. You know, it don't make no sense. If we put 50 million on Ben White, we should be going for Grealish over Madders, but I'll still take Madders, bro. Say I'll still take. We're not going to get either. I'd love to be wrong. I want to be wrong. You know, just get one of them in, man. I blame the manager because he sets the tactics and puts the team, but at the same time, the players need to be able to go out and follow the tactics. There's been plenty of times, as much as I criticize Arteta, you hear the way he speaks in the press, and then it just looks like everything he's told them all week, within the first 0 to 5 to 10 minutes, they've just flipped it on its head, like against Leicester, where we came from behind. That crazy game against West Ham as well, if you remember, man. But I can't blame you if you think Aubameyang's done, Sam. I think he'll get back to goal scoring ways, but well, it's an elephant in the room that's got to be addressed, and it's a bit shameless, but it should be posted. Or 10 minutes from being posted. Let me see if this link actually works. I cut up a clip from my last live stream. Check out that comment, people. I kind of offered my opinions on the elephant, which is Aubameyang, man. I can't forget his past goals because I can't turn on a man. You know what I'll give what I will say to Aubameyang is you have my respect because you've scored a lot of goals for this club. You've won us a trophy, and typically you was one of our most consistent players in the league. No matter how poor you've been, you're only 3 off Lacazette. So I won't forget that. Like in life, I don't forget what people have done for me. Same way, and I don't believe in changing up. Same way, I agree with you. You can't rely on the past. The past is gone. It's a new season. Everything resets. You know, Aubameyang just has to prove people wrong. If he doesn't, he needs to be dropped. And there's an even bigger elephant in the room because you've tied down his deal. You know, how you're going to shift him on, I don't know. You're probably hoping he becomes a super sub or something. And then you've got a serious elephant in the room. But same way, you know, you're right. He hasn't shown me anything. We just have to hope, man. Just have to hope, man. I don't know. Aubameyang has to speak himself. You doing a live stream for the Inter Miami game? I will, my guy Jason, man. I will. I know it's not going to be pretty. It's at what, 11 p.m. UK time? We'll do that, man. As always, I'm going to need you streamers, though, because you know I ain't paying for that. So I'm going to need them free links and all those sort of things. If the students don't understand the lesson / instruction the teacher is wanting, that's true. But I also, you know, you need to have kids that want to learn or students that want to learn. It does feel like certain men are listening, like Saka's at the front of the class. He's listening and he's doing his thing. Other men are not doing that. Couple people are not listening all the lessons, and it's got to the week of exams. Now they're trying to be serious. Do you get it? Couple people are asking people what the homework is. Certain students are just not coming in. Certain students are lying about being ill. You know, certain students are just not making the right notes. So they'll listen for an hour and then once they leave that room, it's gone. That's where we don't see long-lasting sort of changes and things. I've offered a specific video, Alex, on Varane United, but in short, I think it would be a good signing. Locatelli or Neves, I'd personally prefer Locatelli, but that's a myth. Aubameyang wasn't scoring because this team lacked creativity. Then we brought in youngsters, but he fell ill and them things. He'll be back in form. form is temporary, class is permanent. True, but as much as I agree with that, the lack of creating and things and whatnot, and I do think he was due a season like this because he's been overperforming with the lack of options. Same way, I can't just use that as an example. Same way I give you credit. You're right, Ashley. But the same way, if you are a Aubameyang and you're not scoring goals, are you going to sit here and say it's because of this, because of that? We need to take accountability in life, and football's the same. I am not scoring enough goals because of myself. That's it, fundamentally. What am I doing? Because like I said, the season before that, man, I was doing something. Obviously, you're right, but you get it. We can't always blame other factors. Same way Arteta. He can't do half his job because these players aren't good enough. But same way, you can only blame yourself. No one put a gun to you to take this job. Can only blame yourself. Are you concerned about our fitness team? FM had Arsenal ranked at 14th in the Prem. We've had so many injuries that seemed avoidable. Can you blame that purely on COVID-19 chaotic fixture schedule, match fixtures? Probably, probably, but it does concern me because I do think with Xhaka, Luiz, and Partey, over mismanaging people, we could have lost the battle where they weren't involved in them games, and then they're part of the war. Like Xhaka and David Luiz. I know Xhaka picked up a knock in just before we played, but I don't think Luiz needed to play against Newcastle. I think we needed his mentality against Villarreal. I don't think Xhaka necessarily needed to play against Newcastle. There's been, against Spurs, there was no need to play Partey. Players are always going to say they're fit. People say they don't care. Players are always going to play. Sometimes, regardless what the medical team say, it might just be smart just to not let someone involved. And maybe there's a bit. I can't speak like a medical man because I ain't done that. But as a fan, it does seem like we're a bit naive in that regards. And there is something to what you're saying, 100%, man. But we're not talking about Aubameyang anymore. Aubameyang does miss tap-ins like he did against Rangers. So does Lacazette. Lacazette does the same, but it's not about Lacazette versus Aubameyang. It's like we're supporting Arsenal Football Club. Please support and critique players with constructive criticism. We don't need to do the fanboy thing. There is no excitement in our team. We used to have players like Rosicky, Cazorla, Ozil, Nasri, Fabregas were these players. We've moved away from our molds and our values and what we deemed as a footballer. Balogun to surprise this season. Let's just let Balogun develop, man. Let's just let him develop. I don't want no expectations on the lad, man, because we ain't seen 10 90-minute games from him, man. Man said certain students ain't in the right set, need to go set 8 or something. Bro, people are mucking about in class. And in the teachers, Arteta's one of them teachers. He's probably there going, man are just talking until you look in the front and you just see. I used to have a teacher called Mr. Fox, history teacher. He's a neek. He used to go, I'm talking. Like, it's one of them ones there, man. And I rate Lacazette, man. Lacazette's strengths are better than Aubameyang's, We need everyone playing well because a good Aubameyang is a good Lacazette. A good Lacazette means, we need options, There's a front three. We've got more than 3 players. I want to see it. There's games for Aubameyang and Lacazette. There's games for either or. Lacazette is more my sort of player. I think Lacazette is slept on at this football club. Manuel said, I think fans are always going to twist and turn their opinions, but everyone's Lacazette's best friend now. First half of the season, they were saying he needs to go. They only see, what he gives us to the squad now, the pressing, the work rate, the hold-up play, the link-up play, as I said earlier, with the Halen lads. He's a good player. The only problem with Lacazette is you don't know what you're going to get in terms of goals, man. I like Lacazette. I don't know if giving him a new deal is the sensible thing, but it is what it is. Do you think to get the best from Lacazette and Oba is to play them up front together? I wouldn't say so because they both excelled without each other, but you would like to see them excelling. And personally, I think we need to move away from that, man. That doesn't make sense. That Mohammed, that doesn't make sense. People do fall off a cliff, but you're exaggerating with the Rooney thing. And Rooney's class is still there. You give him a football, he's going to show you madness. Sorry for changing the subject a few times. Did you never be sorry, man? Speaking of fasting, I've got another 8.5 hours to go, bro. Strength in it. Like I said, when I did it, mental strength, man. And I don't know about the way you lot are, but UK, the heat, it's a madness. It's more what I learned from fasting or taking it with my Muslim brothers is it's a mental thing. Yeah, you're hungry, but it's a mental thing. It's a very mental thing. That was again, what's the thing called that you wake up early to eat just before the sun comes up? Was doing that. It's hard getting up and doing that, man. No one is talking about this, but who is our keeper next season, bro? The kit man might as well get it really and truly, or the cameraman, or Adrian Clark, or something. Bro, we need to address the Ledo thing. Bro, it's a bit gazy for us, man. It's mad. But all Aubameyang needs to do is score goals, innit? He's not scoring goals and he's missing concerning chances. You score goals, no one cares, innit? Like, you score goals, no one cares. Right now, he's not bringing no goals to the table, so it's very concerning. Yeah, that's it, man. Apologies for getting that wrong. Tini, Gabriel, White, Chambers is as good of a backline I've seen from us since we had Koscielny, or maybe even longer than that. If we actually sign a right back, we will set. We just need goals and midfielders to control the tempo of the game, to feed our attackers, and just to look like competent players in the middle of the park. We went from having people like Vieira, Gilberto Silva to a bunch of pansies. It's quite crazy, but who to be, yeah, Gooner and all them things there, I guess. Is what it is in that regard. Is there any other Arsenal news? They're already starting the propaganda pieces. Brighton defender can add a new dimension for MIKEL Arteta's side. I hope he can. I mean, before I even talk about this, is there any legs to this? Like, what? Let me try and read past the sensationalized headlines, man. No, it's the same stuff in relation to our just different toilet from Football London. Bro, Gunnosaurus, throw him in goal, man. Arthur probably does need to go on loan and play football, but third choice keeper is good. You're training and whatnot with the first team. I'm not even going to lie, from a selfish point of view, if we can develop a first and second choice keeper from the academy, then we can be all right there. But you're right, when you see the mistake he made, it would be, at 19 he would learn a lot going League One. I don't think he's good enough for the Championship. I wouldn't take him as a Championship manager right now, but League One, League Two, these sort of things, just blood, because he's young for a player anyway. He's young for a keeper. It will make sense, needs to organize. You look at the 3 set piece goals we can see. I don't blame them young keepers, because people should be taking charge for them, and it's terrible. But same way, he goes to a first team environment and does that. You're looking at your goalie. If that's Leno Wingo, I'm looking more so at my keeper. There's only so much training you can do, because he would probably play 23 games to keep ticking over. He can train with Leno and, I don't know, Ramsdale if he came in as much as he wants, but there's no substitute for playing, and past a certain stage, you got to play. And so it could be right, just going and playing on loan, man. If you had to choose between Aouar, Neves, Basuma, or Maddison, who are you picking? Ooh, difficult one still, because I'm going with Aouar and Maddison. I don't think there's a need for Basuma. As much as I love him, I don't think there's a need for Basuma, because we've got Lokonga coming in and Partey is there. So yeah, I'd probably be between Maddison and Aouar. I'm going to go with my guy Aouar / Maddison. I have to have both, my guy. I have to have both. I don't know how you give people the mod on Twitch, my guy. If you lot tell me, I want to, because I see the Twitch gang going crazy. Shout out to the Twitch gang. Big up Tan. She said, if Arsenal get all the players they want, where do you think we'll finish in the league? Well, to be honest with you, we've been linked with Grealish, Maddison, Aouar. If we got half of them players, we're winning the league. But realistically, if you was to sign, let's just go with Max Aaron's right back, Aouar in the 8 next to Partey. You got Smith Rowe. Ben White comes in at centre half. On a best of day, 5th, 6th. But with consistency, you never know. We should be pushing for top 4 until the cows come home. But probably 5th, 6th. Still can't quite put my hand on it. But I still just think we're short, really and truly, if I'm completely honest with you. But probably 5th best. Probably more of the same, really and truly. I genuinely think Ben White is the closest thing to a young David Luiz active right now. Hope so. In terms of the leadership qualities he had with Gabriel, hope so, man. If you were Arteta, what would you say to Lucas Torreira to convince him to stay at Arsenal? None. Fuck off, bro. You don't want to be here. Like, again, Torreira's my guy. You don't want to be here, bust out. But we don't need to convince you. You should be convincing yourself. But to humor you, I'm going to use you. You're going to play. It doesn't look like, it just looked like off-field problems with Torreira, and you can't change that. So, man, I just have to leave, man. In the chat, type out the command. I'm going to screenshot that. I ain't going to do that right now. I'm not going to sit here and capture you. I'm not going to do that right now. But yeah, man. We cannot sell our deadwood just like Man U did not sell Matic and Mata. I think they're a bit different because they're deadwood, but they need they're developing a young squad and whatnot. So I can understand why Mata is going to stay for another year, why Matic is still there, why they might even keep Lingard this year and things like that. I understand a lot of it, man. I really hope to see more of Martinelli this season as well, 100%. Looking at the Ancelotti situation, our club situation can only be looked at by a young manager, because any world-class manager won't come and leave, even if he does well here like Ancelotti. Okay. DG, to make someone a mod on Twitch, type in the chat /mod space and the person's username. Yeah, I'll do that, man. Listen, I barely understand YouTube. YouTube is like peeing in the wind, in the dark wind. You know, half of the time, you don't get no one. There's no direct contact to speak to about YouTube. You don't understand a lot. You don't understand why certain videos are, you try and look, but you can't really understand. You don't know specifically why certain videos are doing better than others. Why one video's got more views, but it's earned less than one. You don't, YouTube's a baffling place. And I've been here for what, 5-6 years now, 4, 5 to 6 years. I don't even know now. So Twitch is a whole nother ball game. I'm learning it, my guy. It's very different, but we're getting there. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed on Twitch and you're doing up Twitch, man. Again, think of your questions, because probably Friday, I won't lie, Friday Q&A days, Twitch gang, you got something there, so please make a mental note of that. On Twitch, I don't know if it showed you, but did it tell you like this time that there was a schedule and whatnot? Because I put in the schedule section when we was going live versus just going live off StreamYard. I thought, you know what, let's do that. We're at 369 likes, people. Keep running that up. Can Arsenal sign Maddison? Probably not, but a man can dream, a man can hope, a man can pray, no? Like all of them sort of things. All right, subscribe on Twitch. If you've got Amazon Prime, make sure you're doing up Twitch as well. You gotta be big to get certain YouTube privileges, just like everything else in the world. Of course. Not really, man, because there's some other platforms. Oh, I can speak to someone with a lot of other things. Literally, just make a convo. Big up S, better late than never. I thought Arteta wanted a playmaker and a Xhaka replacement, so wouldn't he want Aouar / Maddison and Neves / Locatelli? I would say Maddison and Aouar. Aouar is probably more your 10, so it is what it is. Yeah, you got the Twitch notification. I appreciate that. How close is the Ben White deal? I heard they agreed personal terms. It just looks like he just needs to do the medical and then it's a wrap. I would prefer Almo. What's your thoughts, DG? I'm a big Danny Almo fan. Let's be real, though. He weren't good at the Euros. His last game, and definitely his last game, maybe the game just before then, he was positive, but he stunk up the place. But he's a talented boy. I would love him, man. Not right now. But it looks like he's getting closer and closer. Until the fat lady sings and it's over the line, everything's debatable, innit? But it looks like Ben White will be an Arsenal player. It looks like we've got our man, you know, and with us going to America on Wednesday, hopefully that's sorted. And I mean, he's only in Greece on holiday. I mean, what's that, 4 hours from the UK? Let's go and do that, man. DG, the OG scout. I wish. Almo is class. Got a lot of levels to go up, man. I wanted him when he was at Dynamo Zagreb. Leipzig are not going to let him go cheaply. You know, and for me, maybe not so much now because Barca ain't got the bans, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't complete a move back home to Barcelona. You know how all them man stay, people. Anyways, they always return home and them things there. The thing that frustrates me is none of the players we're linked to are pushing a move to Arsenal. We don't necessarily know that. I thought Odegaard might make a fuss. Bro, I told you when we got Odegaard, that was a marriage of convenience. He wasn't playing. He needed a platform. We needed a player for that role. He needed a sort of role to play football, but also to show Real Madrid levels. When he's played well for Arsenal, it ain't not necessarily been, has he been thinking, yo, I'm going to stay at Arsenal. It's lit. It's always like, oh, we're Real Madrid watching this and that. It's like a man that's not over his girl. And then he's going on Instagram and socials and plastering his new relationship and the other girl don't care sort of thing. It's not making sense. And when you have no buy option on the man, you're in no position of strength. You know, we just have to take that one. We had some good moments. He probably underwhelmed. That's that. Unless he forces a move, and he's not going to force a move until the same thing happens, if it happens, where he's not playing. You know, maybe if Zidane stayed, that could have maybe, you know, allowed him to sign for us and other things. But there's Carlo Ancelotti, the man who gave him his debut. You know, you're hearing Real Madrid ain't got peace to buy players. So arguably, has there never been a better time to stay at Madrid as a young man? Surely there's never been a better time to stay at Real Madrid. So at least for the first 6 months, early weeks, best in pre-season, like August times when games are going on, you might see something, you might not, but I think you just have to eat that one. It's gone, man. I personally think Ben White will be our big signing of the window, 7th place at best. Shame if that is it, man. The man said, shout out to S, gifting a sub, buying a membership for someone. Shout out to Jason, man. I never like to call you a Twitch day, because I actually know your actual name. Shout out to you, man. You see, the Twitch gang is amazing, man. Make sure you're subbed on Twitch and them things there if you're not already, because there's going to be a lot of content moving away there, you know. When you're going on my channel and you don't see stuff, you're going to know. Man said Coke or Pepsi, only one right answer. They're both shit, but I'd rather the... I don't want to say Coke because it sounds mad, but I'd rather the Coke as a mixer if the Henny's about still. If we were able to sign Declan Rice, would he be a good addition? Yep, but that's 60 million. Out of all the English players with an English premium, I'd rather overpay for Grealish if we could, overpay for Maddison. You know, I wouldn't overpay for Rice because I just don't think he's 60 million. What he brings to the table is not 60 million worth. He's a good player. I'd love him, and I think he's better on the ball than people give him credit to. But it's media, innit? Can't be paying 60 million for that. Come on now. I actually think he'd make a good centre-half, man. I'd take him at Arsenal to make him a centre-half, but he's probably comfy in midfield. Deluded is back again. Best YouTuber with honest reviews. Locked in from Antigua. On the job. Tuned in late, bro. Appreciate that. When are the FM streams coming? I lied about Sunday. We'll aim for this week still. Make sure you're checking out your YouTube community tab. We'll aim for this week still. Shout out to Sky to Rush because he helped me pattern the scoreboards and whatnot. We'll aim for this week. I'll keep you lot posted. But again, if you're not subbed on Twitch, which you are, or I hope you are, there's an issue. Lokonga, big up Capital Squeeze. Lokonga and White should be completed in the next 2 weeks. 1 month left after that to get other players in. Still plenty of time to get some business done. Amen. Let's hope we do that, man. Let's hope we do that. Locatelli and Barella are cheaper and are winners. But again, them and there, if they want to leave, they're going to want to go to bigger clubs. And do they want to leave Italy? Where we're told with Locatelli, he's not on it. Barella, you've got an opportunity. But I think that one day needed to be done, man. Appreciate that, Omar. That's how Arsenal roll. Deluded, never quite do enough in the transfer window. Let's hope it's not the case. Let's try to be positive. Does Smith Rowe deserve the 10 shirt, or was that to keep him? It could be to keep him, but I think there's plenty of other reasons other than the 10 shirt. You know, really, cynics could say 6 months of playing well shouldn't get you an Arsenal 10 shirt, the shirt that Dennis Bergkamp has worn. But, you know, for me, I wouldn't mind him getting it. He's going to be that 10, innit? I got small hope that he changes to a next number or keeps his other number, and that 10 is left for an illustrious signing. But I'm not going to cry. I don't really care about numbers. Obviously, the 10, the 7, the 5, you know, for me, number 13, you know, you look for who's wearing certain numbers and stuff, but it's good players, man. I don't care if you're wearing number 99 or number 1, bro. If you're doing your job, your number don't really mean much to me. Because certain man we've had number 9s at this club that don't score goals. So what have we been on about, really? Really and truly, man. Hopefully there's some progress in that, guys. Where are we at in terms of likes? 384. We must get 400 people. Keep rolling, man. I appreciate all the support you guys are doing. Shout out the Twitch ones as well, man. Last question, though, man. Smith Rowe didn't wear 10 in the last game. Yeah, he won 30. He wore 32, but he keeps wearing the training shirts with the 10. Greenwood got Giggs' shirt after a good 6 months. It's all about marketing. Yeah, it is, but I don't really care about Lucas Perez. He didn't really get a chance, but he was meaty. You know, didn't we buy him, Xhaka, and Mustafi in the same window? I think it's a bit harsh to Xhaka because I don't think he's been a flop, but you could say that was a window of mismanagement and kind of sums us up. Last question, though. Kevin has said, hey, DG, what is your opinion on our strikers currently? Do you think we should keep or sell Aubameyang and Laka? What strike would you buy if we sold either of the two? I'll be trying to get that Isaac one done, but he signed a new deal. And I probably would hold on to both of them, but Lacazette's got a year left. You probably have an obligation to try and move him on. Obviously, with Aubameyang's form, he's moving a bit mad. I don't know what you're saying there, Michael, bro. Who has the best first touch? I don't know, you know, at Arsenal. I don't know, man. Probably best first touch. Maybe Lacazette. I don't know, man. Any updates on Xhaka? You'd have to scroll back, but it looks like Roma and Arsenal are meeting to try and pattern something. Yeah, but we know in Italy, they're a bit funny with the numbers, man. I remember Ronaldo wore number 99 or something at AC Milan. They're a bit mad with the numbers, man. Man said, not gonna lie, DG spits so much facts. I'll just be listening, forgetting to hit the like button and shit. You lot kill me. Bro, how he got number 9? That was market and its best. And I love Martinelli, but Martinelli's definitely not there for first touch still. Probably not there still, I can't lie. Is Ozil still there? Must be knocking about. I know my first touch. My first touch is all right. I don't need a first touch. And on that note, people, thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna tune straight out. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. You're following on Twitch. I've just dropped a like in there. It's been a fantastic hour and 37, borderline 40 minutes. But since Omar mentioned first touch, I told man I don't do touches. My touch can't be best. My touch can't be the best, bro. I don't know what's the first touch. What's that? Come on, it's an Ibrahimovic thing. I don't know about touch. Wallock. Safe. I don't know about first touch, man. Have a blessed day, everyone. Everyone stay safe. Make sure you're back here at 11:30 a.m. Make sure you're checking out the community tab and them things. I'm out.